All right. Welcome back. Another episode of Tranquilo Sports Talk. And yes, you might not recognize me with this luscious American hair, but we are here. The greatest weekend in all of golf happens once every 2 years, and that is right. We are on home soil this time around. It is the Ryder Cup. USA versus Europe, the best of the best going head to head, and we will not, I refuse to let the Euros come in here and take it from us, all right? We are coming off a loss out in Italy. Honestly, Team Europe, they played really well 2 years ago, but this time, no go, baby. We are at Bethpage Black in New York. The fans might be too rowdy for this European team, and I am ready. This is truly like the Ryder Cup. If you're a golf fan, is just it's just the best. It's the really one of the few times that these guys are part of a team, right? Obviously, you've got Ryder Cup, you've also got the President's Cup, yada yada. But the Ryder Cup is really the big moment, the moment that you've got the best Americans versus the best of Europe. And man, there's been a lot riding on this year, right? We lost 2 years ago, like I mentioned, in Italy, and this date has been circled on a lot of people's calendars, and we are ready. We are ready. We are going to teach Europe a lesson. We are going to remind them who are the back-to-back World War champions. We are going to do it this year, all right? Listen, I'm somebody, and if you know, you've been following along, you know I love Victor Hovland. That's my guy. I'm part of the Hov Hive. And I do love a lot of European players. But this is the one time every 2 years that I will go against my guy. And I am obviously backing the US of A, all right? We've got Bryson back in the lineup. Obviously, we've got Scottie. We've got some newcomers, right? Spaun off a great year. Russell Henley. Then you've got a lot of, the regulars. JT, who honestly, JT made last time's cut. Kind of shaky. People thought it was controversial. He obviously wasn't playing well. He's in form this year. He's played very well, got a win under his belt. He's coming into this Ryder Cup fired up. I think he's somebody, obviously, that we are going to build energy off of. Obviously, you got Colin Morikawa. You've got Sam Burns, who honestly is probably the closest that I look like right now outside of Joe Dirt. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm so excited that I'm doing this solo dolo, all right? I'm here to tell America that it is time to step up, baby. It is time to put PJ and live aside. We come as one, as a country, to unite against Europe, baby. So that's my intro. Pooch is looking at me like a madman back there. But no, honestly, it's just so fun. It's like it's to me, obviously, the majors, the masters, the players, I love the elevated events but there's something about the Ryder Cup that is just so, it's unique. It's, the format, where we're playing, the fact that it alternates from America, different spots in Europe, and the fact that it's back home. I am so ready. I am so pumped. So I'll talk a little bit about some difference makers. Obviously, Team Europe. We'll start on Team Europe. Obviously, you've got Rory coming off pretty much might I say, I'll touch on Scottie later, but in terms of big moments, Rory, obviously finally completing the Grand Slam at the Masters. He's obviously also won the Players. So Rory's coming off a crazy year. You've obviously got my guy Hov, also has a win under his belt this year. You've got Rahm, you've got Haddon, you've got Straka, who's had a great year. Aberg, who the Hov-Aberg duo is incredible. But man, I just feel it. I feel like the US of A, and although the team is probably not who you expected it to be at the start of the year, right? A guy like Spaun was probably not somebody you would think, but Spaun is talking about somebody who's had one of the best years, definitely the best year of his career, but really one of the best years in the last few years of somebody just coming out of nowhere, winning the U.S. Open, competing with Rory in a playoff of the Players. And so he's coming in, and I'm hoping like this energizes him. And then, of course, I can't go without talking about El Capitan, Keegan Bradley, deciding to sacrifice his spot on the team to stay as just a captain. It shows selflessness. It shows maturity. It shows leadership. And we are ready to take that leadership and win this damn thing. So yeah, with that being said, let's call some European scum. Nicholas Cambo, he came on here 2 years ago. He made his debut on This Week. Let's see what he's got to say backing Team Europe. Boeing. Hey, we're here. We're talking Ryder Cup, baby. Give me your thoughts on Team Europe.
1 through 12, we're better. I know when I say we're, audience, I am a proud European Ryder Cup fan.
He's a proud European backer. Some say turncoat.
I'm nervous, obviously, because tougher course. Every home team basically wins a Ryder Cup. But I'm not buying this young wave, bunch of rookies coming on, playing well. Guy who I think is going to play really well for the U.S., I think Harris English is going to have a great Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah, Harris.
There's a breakout star amongst Team EU, and his name is Robert McIntyre.
Ooh, Bobby Mack.
I think I can see him going 4-0 in all of his matchups. He is the most up-and-coming EU player besides Ludwig. Even I think he's better than Ludwig. I just think it's going to be a really razor-tight year. It's going to come down to Keegan. I mean, we can all laugh at Zach Johnson. Blue. The easiest European win was selected when the U.S. elected Zach Johnson as cap.
I can't even
Sam
deny that
Burns
one.
didn't belong anywhere near that team.
Hey, Burnsy's hot now, though.
Now he does, but 2 years ago he had no business. Brian Harmon, disaster. Just get him off the course. And look, there's no Brooks this year, so U.S. is better.
But we got Bryson.
That's who I'm scared of the most. Besides he who shall not be named. But listen, Collins playing terrible. Xander played okay, been injured all year. Cantlay had one good FedEx Cup tournament, otherwise horrendous, except the last month and a half. There's a lot of upside for Team EU, and we're a brotherhood.
We are a brotherhood.
We understand each other. We know what it's like to win, and I think this could be the first year in a while where the road team takes glory.
Dude, you haven't even complimented my hair, dude. Check this bad boy.
Go Team EU, go Team EU.
All right, Boeing. Thank you, brother.
EU.
Go USA, baby. America.
On Thursday, first box. Bye.
All right, you heard it first from our European backer who's out of the country right now. He's not out of the country. I'll be seeing him in a couple days in Colorado. But he brought up a couple people. Harris English is another one I think I'm very excited to see him in his first Ryder Cup. He's someone who's absolutely deserved it. He played his way into it, and he's had a great year. And the he who shall not be named that he mentioned is somebody, and I'm going to address this head on, somebody that I have a rivalry with, somebody that, it's a known thing. Me and him, we don't see eye to eye. But this is the 1 week every 2 years, the one weekend every 2 years that I'm in Scottie's corner, man. Scottie, this is me reaching out the olive branch. Don't let Victor Hovland make you cry again this year. We need you. America needs you. And then after this week, we can go back to being rivals. But this week, we are together, brother, and we're going to get it done at Bethpage Black. Let's go. All right, Poochie, what questions do you got for me?
My question is, and I was doing a little bit of research on the betting side of things.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to take day one?
Like team in general, right? So it's hard to say yet because obviously you don't know who the pairings are. But I think it's very important for the U.S. to really come out hot this year because we saw what happened 2 years ago where Europe literally dominated day one. And it set us back so far that the entire weekend we were just climbing to try to come back. Yes, they're all cumulative. And so it's important to come out of day one victorious. Obviously, it's important to get all days. But day one specifically because you can set the tone, which is what Team Europe did last year. It's what we need to do this year. We are at home, right? We've got the crowd on our side, and honestly, the crowd is going to be crazy. Like, a little worrisome. People are worried about the crowd. I'm not. I'm ready for American dominance at this thing, all right? They're going to be loud. They're going to be obnoxious, and they're going to try to get in people's head. You can get in Rory's head pretty easily, but he's somebody also, as much as you can get in his head, he can also fuel, this can fuel him. So we'll see how it goes, but I do think we need to take day one, and I think we will take day one.
And I want you to give, who do you think is going to be the dark horse that is going to sneakily be the reason that USA takes a day or stays close in competition? Who's going to be that guy that's going to be the overall just a strong performance, maybe not super flashy, maybe not top of the line, but he's going to be competitive enough just to keep that edge throughout the weekend?
So I'll answer this with first who the guy was last year or 2 years ago, and that was Patrick Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay almost single-handedly put Team USA on his back 2 years ago with the whole hat gate and the massive putts he was hitting. He was kind of the catalyst that kept us even in it. This year, all my eyes are on some of these rookies, right? And I think one of them is who actually Cambo just mentioned, Harris English. Somebody that honestly most, unless you're a golf fan, you don't really know the name. But Harris English has been consistently playing so good. Not only this year, he's been playing the last couple years, just consistently. He's there, he's battling, he's won a few tournaments here and there. But this is his time to shine. He's finally get a crack at the Ryder Cup. And I think him more than anybody, because, right, people now kind of know who J.J. Spaun is, right? He won the U.S. Open. Russell Henley won at Bay Hill. But Harris English is somebody that, unless you're a golf fan, you probably don't recognize the name. And I think he's somebody who can be very dangerous. And so I'm going to take Harris English as my sleeper hero at the Ryder Cup this year.
And then you look at both sides, the European side and the USA side, unbiasedly, what are the strengths that each side have, and what are some of the weaknesses that can hurt him, throughout the weekend, that can be kind of like that Achilles heel that, is going to be prevalent, throughout the span of 3 days?
So the biggest thing that Team Europe has always had an advantage of over Team USA is the essentially the brotherhood, right? The Team Europe just seems closer. They seem like they actually seem more of a team. They are a true team. While the U.S. is usually just a bunch of big stars that are brought together, and obviously they are all friends and things like that, but they've never felt as much of a team as Europe has. That's always been their advantage, in my opinion, and really not just my opinion. It's probably the opinion of most, right? They're very a close-knit group, while the USA has been seen at times kind of disconnected, or it's more like cliquey, right? You got your pairs, you got the guys who are always boys and whatever. But that's the biggest advantage that Europe has. The biggest advantage that we have truly is the home field advantage, right? We're playing in America. A majority of the fans are going to be Americans. So it's that added pressure, right? When we were in Europe 2 years ago, and the reason why it's so hard to win essentially on the road is because all the fans are against you, and it's not a normal golf, right? Their fans are loud, they're chirping. It gets very competitive and very, not necessarily aggressive, but it could honestly get aggressive, as we saw 2 years ago. So that's our biggest advantage. And then, of course, in terms of lineups, right? In my opinion, and unbiasedly, I do think the European side is a stronger 12, right? But on the USA side, you got the number 1 golfer in the world, potentially the number 2 golfer in the world in Bryson DeChambeau. And then you've got a bunch of guys who are playing really well this year. Like I mentioned, JT, pretty much a resurgence year. Harris English, J.J. Spaun, Russell Henley. These guys who are not normally the big dogs, right? The Europe's got a lot of guys that are pretty consistent. The Rorys, the Rahms. Tommy Fleetwood's had a great year, obviously. He just won the FedEx. And that team's been together for a while. I like the fact that US has injected some new blood into this, some people that are trying to make an impression on their first crack. And so I think that's an advantage for us. While I think, Team Europe 1 to 12 is a better roster, I think that this USA team is better than 2 years ago. And I think the fact that we are at home, we need to get it done, and we will get it done.
And my last two. I got 2 more for you.
Hit me, Poochie.
Give me your dream pairing, day 3, Who are the guys you want to see go head to head? It's 2v2, right? The 2v2 format.
No, last day's all ones, 1v1s.
So give me, let's do a dream 2v2 and a dream head to head 1v1, day 2 and day 3.
Okay, so I'll do the head to head. For me is pretty easy in the sense of like I would love if it all came down to like a Scottie versus Rory. I think that would just be incredible television. So Scottie versus Rory would be a dream 1v1 pairing. If you're gonna go 2v2, you go Scottie Bryson versus Rahm and Rory, the best of the two best of the PGA Tour, probably the two best on the Live Tour, teaming up to go against each other. I think that would be the best 2v2 pairing. I think that'd be incredible. If I'm the USA, the pairing that I honestly want to avoid, and I'm not saying this biasly, maybe a little bit, the Victor Hovland, Ludwig Aberg duo is I think Europe's biggest weapon. So that I don't know who they'd put against them, but I think a fun one would be maybe you toss in a Xander Cantlay there because they've got that connection and they're very hard to beat as a duo. So yeah, those would be my dream pairing. I mean, if it came down to a Sunday final pairing, Rory versus Scottie head to head, I think that's kind of what everyone would dream. That'd be like a dream scenario. Or the last two pairings, it goes like Bryson Rory and Rahm Scottie. That would be also a just as good scenario. And Rory and DeChambeau kind of get their three, right? Where Bryson wins the PGA, he won the U.S. Open the year before against Rory, and then Rory beating him at the Masters final pairing, and then getting that third opportunity at the Ryder Cup. That would also be another one. So there's so many different pairings, especially obviously the top dogs. You want to see them, compete, but I think there's just great matchups all around. I think that this is going to be a very competitive Ryder Cup. So very, very excited.
All said and done, who's going to be the MVP of the entire tournament?
I think I'm going to give it to my guy, Bryson DeChambeau. All right, I think Bryson, the fact that he was left off the team 2 years ago, the fact that he is back now, he's obviously playing really good golf, really outside of the Open. I guess the U.S. Open was a bit tough to him, but really the Masters and the PGA, he competed again. Every time, he's competed on almost every live tournament. I think he's just the guy right now, and he's somebody who honestly I'm so happy is here, and I think can make such a difference. His energy, the crowd is going to feed off Bryson like it's crazy. Bryson is a fan favorite. He's probably going to be the most popular guy on that course this weekend, and I think if he can take advantage of that, should be the MVP and should win every round he's in. That's it, Pooch. I love it. Well, everybody, this weekend, everyone tune in to the Ryder Cup. It is truly incredible. Even if you're not the biggest golf guy, you're trying to get into it, this is the tournament to get into it, all right? The USA, it is time to bring that trophy home. Keep it on home soil, and let's go. Thank you all for listening. Let's go USA.